guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be what I'm what I'm currently reading, possible DNF, what I'm getting rid of, what I'm keeping for my packing because I am moving. Also just a quick talk about Bookstagram, BookTube, overconsumption. Do you need books with sprayed edges? Do you need a book cart? All the things that I bought into when I was really excited about starting this channel, and then also I had a Bookstagram account. So what do I think about all that? And is it all really necessary? Because I'm just spoiler, it's not, and I'm gonna get rid of a lot of this stuff. So let's talk about it. But first, the book that I'm reading right now is Deerskin. This was on my 25 for 2025, and it could be a DNF. I don't want to, but I'm this far into it. Okay, this is a dark fairy tale based off of Deerskin. So if you don't know anything about that fairy tale, it's one of those that you kind of just scratch your head about. The main idea being that the king and queen have a daughter, and the queen dies, but she makes the king promise that he will only marry someone as beautiful as she is. And of course, when the daughter grows up, she is the only one who is as beautiful as her mother. So the king wants to marry his daughter. And there's lots of, things that happen, and she tries to have him complete all these tasks, so that impossible tasks that he keeps being able to do, and then she runs away. And not so much in this. This is quite different. It took that dark premise and really ran with it to a much darker place. So, trigger warning. I don't ever do that, but I mean, I'm upset by this book. So, there's going to be, and I'm not worried about this being monetized, so rape and also a miscarriage. So that's where I'm at with this book. The whole idea is kind of the same. She grows up. There's a whole backstory about her parents. It's very involved. We hear a lot about them and the kingdom and her growing up. The queen dies. She turns 17. Her name is Lissar. And when she turns 17, the king kind of notices her. Ew. It's her dad, obviously, and tells her, hey, we're going to get married. And the whole kingdom is oh, gross, but also what did she do? Why has she influenced the king in this way that he wants to marry her? It's her fault. And before this wedding, the king keeps trying to get into her room, and eventually does. And there is a pretty, it's not graphic. The beatdown before the actual rape is quite detailed, and you obviously know what has happened, and then her injuries afterwards are described in detail. So it's the actual, is very delicately handled as far as there's not very descriptive or anything, but everything else is. She runs away after that with her dog, who's here, and that's her only companion. And then she finds a cabin in the woods, and she has a miscarriage there after a while. And when I got to the point where it's describing that she's her belly's getting a little bit swollen and stuff, I was no, please don't go there. Please don't do this. This cannot go anywhere good. And of course it doesn't. So yeah, it's just nothing. It's just been very dark in a way that I don't have a strong connection to Lissar, probably because, she's young, and I'm going to be 40 soon, so it's I just don't have that super strong connection to this younger character. She's fine. I really like the dog, but there's just so much bad is not making the little bit of good is not making up for the so much bad. So tell me if you think I should finish. If you really want to review a full review, I can do that, but it's paining me a little bit. So that's Deerskin so far. And then I have all of my books that I'm getting rid of that are going to be I don't know, probably somewhat controversial. But this one I did not read, and I have tried to read this so many times. I keep picking it up and trying. I don't know, is there currently a bookmark in there? Yeah, there is. Hang on. There it is. I really did give this, and I tried. I even tried the Kindle book or the Audible. I don't remember, but I kept trying to get into Throne of Glass. Could not, and it's partly the way that she writes and partly the characters, no connection to them, did not care. I could not even tell you one of their names. And I've heard that the first book is like the worst and then it gets better and better, but I really don't like the way she writes. It just doesn't work for me. And I just don't want to continue. This I did read and I have a full review, but Fable is going. Yeah, these are all very nice, pretty books. You know, Bookstagram made me buy it. They're like, I like the cover. I actually love this cover. But this is going because I just, once again, it's geared towards a younger demographic, and also I just didn't like it, and I felt like the chemistry was not working between the leads. Same with this one, and it's the same author. This though, they're not terrible, and the writing is not terrible. It's not the author, like, necessarily. It's the storyline and the characters, like I said, geared towards a younger audience. Just didn't work for me. And I really feel like especially with the chemistry, I need believable leads. I need to believe that you actually care about the other person. Like, I don't want to hear about, any kind of intimacy, especially if it's like, oh no, you have not set that up. There's no reason they should be rolling in the hay right now. Like, they don't have any connection. Like, don't do that to me. Kind of different feelings about this. I really didn't like this book. I love the idea of it, and I think it could have been great, but it killed me with the I feel like it wanted to say some stuff, but the execution was very bad. And I feel like the character that got vilified so much was the stepmother, who was herself the biggest victim in this book. And I couldn't get past that. Like, I felt so bad for her. And I felt like she was so vilified and it just wasn't right. And then I just didn't like the main character. She was fine, like, not too girl bossy, but she wasn't great either. And I didn't really feel anything about the male lead. And he doesn't get much to do here. I think he's set up more in the other books, but I won't continue. So this one's going. All right, so this is my book cart. I don't know that you can really see it, but it's here. I mean, you can tell that it's there. And I got this, like I said, at the height of my Bookstagram, YouTube. I'm going to start this channel. I'm going to do Bookstagram. And I started getting all these books, romantasy and sci-fi and all that, like this one with beautiful purple sprayed edges. And this one. Once again, sprayed edges, really pretty. I never read any of these. Judge me all you want. I'm just being transparent here. This one. If you feel like these are ones I really missed out on, or there's one you really want to review on, I'll keep it long enough to read it and tell you what I think. But otherwise, these are all going in the donate or sell pile. I will probably end up donating most because I don't know that if I had a garage sale or whatever that I would sell too many. But, someone will want these and will love them and add to their collection, which I'm happy about. I'm keeping these ones. I actually love this cover for the Brandon Sanderson books. So it's not all bad, but I am getting rid of a ton of these style books that I thought I really, really need these. I really want these for my collection. It's going to look so beautiful. I never even put them on my bookshelf. You do not need this. You will be told otherwise. Every single Bookstagrammer, booktuber, they have the beautiful shelves and all this, and this was built into my house. I didn't do this. My shelves are just shelves. They're not set up nicely or anything, but you don't need to do this. You don't need a full library. You don't need 1,000 books. Just get what you're gonna get. I might keep this one because I like the cover, but this is another one where I'm I could take it or leave it. I never even read it. I love the cover. It was supposed to be a mashup of Moulin Rouge and Phantom of the Opera or something like that, and I was well, I like both of those. In fact, I love them. So and I love some things about Moulin Rouge. Yeah, but I loved the idea of it. So we'll see. It's this, but these were from book boxes, and this one too. These are all going. So stuff like that. I feel don't waste your money if you're not, gonna sit there and read all these books. If you don't have the time, if it's not something you're super invested in, I'm just gonna say you don't need to do that. This one, I read a ton of these, and I like Murder, She Wrote, but these ones are written, they're fine. They're super enjoyable. I just these were stuff I listened to on the plane and when I was cleaning, but I'll stick with Agatha Christie and probably get rid of these, the ones that I have, because they did start to add in like weirdly current political stuff, which took me out of the setting of like Jessica Fletcher, and like that's not current. Like, that's all like, I don't know if that was like 80s, I'm guessing. No, 80s. And so I was like, why are they bringing up people like politics of now? So I think it was supposed to be like a continuation, like she just lives forever and she's still doing this, but I thought that was super weird and took me a bit out of the story. But yeah, these are fun for the most part. But I'm gonna keep all my vintage Agatha Christie and get rid of stuff like this. I'm not getting rid of any of my Agatha Christie. So that's another one that's going. Let me get my big stack here. Also, as far as like stuff that I'm keeping, I have a full review on this. I think it's kind of short, which is I should maybe do more of an in-depth, but I love this series. Absolutely love it. Like, I love the whole like Rampion crew. This book is not my favorite of this series, but my favorite is probably this one. But I love the whole series. The whole series is great. There wasn't a character that I didn't love. There's a character that I'm kind of like, it was the love interest for Winter. But still, all of them were really good. Really like it. Love the like sci-fi fantasy. It's like set in this, like I said, sci-fi fantasy world, and it's the Lunars who have come from like, the moon, and they're this whole other like, people. And they're interacting with the people on Earth, and the Earth has kind of been split up into these different, things and factions. But I like the sci-fi element, the cyborg element. Like, it had a lot of really great things that you're just like, how's she gonna work that in? And when you hear like the first one is supposed to be like, Cinderella, and like she's got, mechanical parts and all that, and how's that really gonna work? I'm like, it works. It just does. And I think the romance was fine, but like the main like really, really great romance for me like was this with Cress and Thorn. So, but I love the whole series, and I'm keeping all these books. Of the other ones behind me, probably about half of these will go, half of these will be kept. I'm not getting rid of anything Tolkien or C.S. Lewis. Those are like forever going to be with me. Also, my like vintage Mistborn stuff I'll keep. But as I'm packing, I'm just realizing I kind of, gave into the whole overconsumption. I really need this. I've never read this book. This was a book box book. Beautiful. And look, they do these cool like covers inside. Hang on, I'll even show you. See? So pretty. I feel like I should do a giveaway or something with this, but I don't know that even any of you want them, but they're here and I don't know what to do with them. So I'm not taking them to my new house. I'm not going to carry them across multiple states. They're just going to be gotten rid of. And all the stuff that's vintage or that was things that I've had, in my collection for a long time, or books that I've loved and read, I'm keeping. But that's, a big part of my collection was just to collect. And I think that's going to be true for most people. Like, I'm just going to be honest about it. I never read this. And I do think I got way too bogged down with the romantasy like genre. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with it because I feel like it's kind of been overtaken by like Sarah J. Maas and the girl who wrote, now I won't be able to think of it, the dragon one. Oh no, I'll put it here. You know what I mean. And then the like all the ones with the vampires and stuff, and you know what I mean. Those books, they're just all so similar, and it's all like bordering on smut, which I'm just not interested in. So yeah, a lot of these are going, and as I pack up and stuff, I'll do more mini reviews hopefully and get some more stuff going, as far as content. But just wanted to give you an update on where I'm at, cleaning out my book cart and getting rid of stuff. And if you love your books, that have sprayed edges, and you love all your romantasy that you collected, that's fine. This just wasn't for me. It's not important. I don't feel like these were like classic books that I'm gonna like have to have my kids read. They were just collected because I was collecting at the time. And with, where I started this and right after COVID was like a big thing. And at the time I was just at home. So I had a lot of time to read, and here I am. But now gotta move, gotta pare down, and I know what I actually really love, what I'm actually going to want to keep forever. So that's my thoughts on that. I will let you know, or you let me know in the comments, whether you want me to continue with Deerskin. I'd rather not, but of course I will if you really want the full review. It's tough going. I will say Robin McKinley's writing is good, very good. She's a little bit wordy, a little bit over descriptive, but I don't mind it. I feel like I do get very immersed in her storytelling, and she writes, nice. It's like pretty, but this one was just a bit dark, and I don't mind dark fairy tale retellings. There's one, I think it's called Saving Beauty. I'll put it here, and this is about it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and she gets forcibly conscripted into this army that's fighting these monsters. It makes sense in the book. And she's young, and obviously she's a woman. And then the guy who's the beast is her commanding officer kind of thing. But she goes through it. Her life is terrible, and the way that she's treated, and the people around her, and she's there's times where she's assaulted and stuff. But it was different, and I just feel better written, and the characters were I connected with better for whatever reason. I also feel the fantasy aspect was just more there. This is we've had a little bit kind of fantasy stuff happening with in Deerskin. She just got saved by someone I'm assuming is some kind of forest fairy or something, but I don't know. I would recommend Saving Beauty over this because I just like that better. And I don't mind the darkness. Also, The Heir and the Spare, super very dark aspects of it. Deals with a lot of dark themes, but I just like that a lot better. This one was, I feel just troubling for I feel it was dark for being dark. It's a shock value situation. It's oh, not only did she get raped by her dad, but also then she's pregnant, and yeah, and we have to deal with that, and then of course the miscarriage. So if you're sensitive to anything like that, or if you've dealt with anything like that, it's going to be kind of upsetting, and I just don't love that book. So that's my thoughts. And if you saw anything on my shelves, or like I said, in these stacks that you're I'd love a review on that, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know. Otherwise, I will just continue to pack and get rid of stuff, and I'll see you in my next video.